He was 5'6" and never weighed more than 135 pounds, but Ernie Pyle had a profound impact on American culture. The Dana, Indiana native was arguably one of the greatest war correspondents. His writings dealt with the common man who defended the nation during World War II, and his life and career are wonderfully showcased at a museum in Dana. But that museum also honors the veterans who served alongside Pyle.
If you visit the Ernie Pyle Museum, you might be greeted by Phil Hess and Eric Daniels. They know so much not just about Pyle, but the many veterans from Dana who defended the nation.
The few stories that we have about the 323 who went into uniformed service from Dana is a highlight. We've spent a lot of time working on that.
Those people were common men and women, just like Pyle. Many of them paid the ultimate sacrifice. In fact, Hess says Dana's casualty rate was 5 times more than the Army average. Since 2015, the museum has been collecting photos of each of Dana's veterans from World War II. They were definitely the definition of the common man.
He ran an elevator. He worked in the oil fields. He ran a grocery store. He was a carpenter. He ran a bulk distributorship. He had a junkyard and became an Indiana auditor. He was a farmer. He was a parts man. He worked at the local elevator. He was a farmer. He was a farmer. He was a construction worker. All these people were everyday people here. Came from Dana, and a lot of them spent the rest of their lives here.
Each photo has a story behind it, and so many of those who served were related, like the Eaton family, which paid a high price.
His next brother, Floyd, was in the tank destroyers and received decoration of Bronze Star for Valor for destroying 4 tanks, including a Tiger. And he was killed later, about 2 months after that engagement, by mortar fire. This brother was the first from Dana to get the Purple Heart. He'd been in a circus troupe and spent 3 months in the hospital from a shrapnel wound. This brother was a medic in Europe, and his experiences shattered him. He spent the rest of his life in a soldier's home. He couldn't cope with civilian life.
It's so appropriate that the Wall of Dana veterans is one of the first things you see in the museum, because they are exactly the kind of people Pyle wrote about.
Almost everyone thinks it's just a hidden gem. Yeah. It's just a wonderful museum, and I agree.
There's so much to see in the museum. The Wasco Theater, which tells the story about a soldier who was killed in action, and that story by Pyle eventually became the film The Story of G.I. Joe. Almost every display has a Pyle column as its centerpiece, like the D-Day invasion and Pyle's eloquent and descriptive writing. He wrote, "It was a lovely day for strolling along the seashore. Men were sleeping in the sand, some of them sleeping forever. Men were floating in the water, but they didn't know they were in the water, for they were dead." So much to see and to ponder, and people from around the world continue to make the trip to Dana, the home of so many common men and women who did remarkable things, just like Ernie Pyle.
Quite a place, and Pyle's birthplace is also part of the museum. It's a wonderfully restored home built in the 1800s. The museum, by the way, is open May 5th through November 11th. We'll have a link for you on our website.